Tillman and Moritz from SweetPad. We're a Berlin-based startup company. The basic idea behind SweetPad is that we replace in hotel rooms the guest directory, the telephone, the remote control, the spa brochure, the room service information, the TV guide, information on the city and the Bible, and put them on a single tablet PC. We've been doing that for a year now, and we're active in 10 different countries.
I guess hard work. That's what got us very far, and persistency, at least in the first year. I think if you pursue an idea, and as we did, then when we started off, we worked very hard, and we still work very hard at this, and we try to send a signal to our employees to work very hard as well. Because even if you're working at the wrong thing for a while, and that will happen. At least you're going full speed, and you will figure it out sooner or later, but you don't find out these kind of things if you go with a 30-hour or 40, 50-hour work week. Actually, let me rephrase that. Drive, I think, is the word we're looking for. It's not only work, that's true. It's also persistency. Drive.
I think if two people who have drive meet, the chances are very well that the drive of the one person will also help the other person in order not to lose his drive, because and I think even in a friendship you have it that you sometimes feel, oh, I could work a little bit more. I don't know if this feeling is stronger when you're working with a friend, or if it's stronger when you're working with a stranger. Although I would never recommend to found a company with a total stranger, because I think the most important thing when you start a company, you should definitely know the person. I don't think you have to necessarily be a friend with the person, but I think it's good to know who you're going to meet every morning, who you're going to spend hours and hours every day with. Because if you have the feeling that you don't want to come into the office because that person is there and you don't like it, then you definitely shouldn't start a company with such a person.
He was available. I thought that was so much. No. Morris and I have known each other since our time here at DLU, and we got to know each other very well when we lived together. We also had a third roommate, and we also had other very close friends. But what I think what distinguished us was, I mean, when we worked together on some cases and paper, as you are right now, we had. We had one very, very low point in our friendship. I think that was the time, it was probably split second from the time that I threw the pen that it hit you, or hit the wall behind you, I don't know. But that was, I think, the lowest point in our friendship so far. And why I'm telling this is the core competency there was actually being able to sit through a conflict and get on again and get the work done. We got a great actually, one of the few ones actually on my report card in that project. And that was a great thing, because I knew that we would pull through.
Yeah, we basically have that every day. I mean, every day you have small situations where you haven't talked about before, and things where things occur that need to be sorted out, and you don't always have a chance in the daily business to discuss it, the two of you, and then you take a decision together. But you have your own competencies and your own things that you have to think about, and sometimes the other person is of a different opinion, and then you need to talk it over. And what I can recommend is to talk those things over as soon as you can, because if it adds up to a list of things that might be on your mind, and you're not totally open with each other, then this will get bigger and bigger and bigger. And then I think this will lead to situations that can be severe problems for startups, because if the 2 or 3 startup founders cannot trust each other anymore, I think this is the very moment where the whole company breaks apart. And in order to prevent that, I can only recommend to talk those things over as soon as you can. I mean, before I started SweetPad, I started cloudnumbers.com, which didn't work out for various reasons. Maybe, I mean, of course, also for team reasons, because we're a founding team of 3. I had 2 technical co-founders, and we split up, or one of them left us round about like half a year after we started the company. And yeah, I mean, this is probably a case where I didn't know the person too well at the very beginning, and the pace and the drive 2 of the co-founders had were different to what the other co-founder had, and this led to a problem. But I don't think that this would have been the only reason why the company didn't succeed, but it was definitely one of the reasons.
we noticed that inefficiencies started to occur. That was I think the best example of that is actually when employees have to talk things over with both of us. So a developer would then come with a solution. He would go to Moritz and explain the solution to Moritz. Then I would barge in and he would explain the whole thing to me again. And that alone was already lost time. So we decided that, I think it was end of last year around Christmas, that we decided to split roles. And there it actually was pretty apparent, and I think we've then started to diverge a little bit dive deep into our roles. Moritz is on the sales side. Moritz does PR, media, marketing, and most importantly sales. And I'm on the product side with a now a bit more growing part where I actually have to take care of the customers that we have. So Moritz gets the customers in, I take care of the customers we have. And so it's basically a mix of product and sales. It's a different level. If you guys talk, you guys are friends, but if you talk about your casework suddenly to your colleagues, you don't make that differentiation in your head. You're still talking to your friend about business. So I wouldn't even say it's on the same level. It's somehow on a different level. It's a professional level, a friendship level.